Hi guys, what I have here is one of the most confusing collabs of the year, the Vaxee Ninjutso Sora. But what if I told you that it's actually a really good gaming mouse? The mouse has the original Sora shape that I personally had not tried before, but it's a claw grip focused shape with a prominent back hump and a very nice taper towards the center. Imagine like a smaller XM1, XM2 kind of shape. Between the XM2 and the Sora shape, there are some key differences that makes these feel quite different in hand, however. The XM2 has a deeper concave on the thumb area and the hump feels a bit more rounder and wider, and especially on the front the XM2 is wider. These features makes it feel a bit more locked into your hand than the Sora, and the Sora feels a bit more nimble in hand. One nice thing about the Sora shape is also the front ledges that the XM2 doesn't have. So if you feel like you get your fingers pinched easily on the front, the Sora shape could be better for you. Overall, the length and height are about the same, but the Sora is a couple of millimeters skinnier measured from the top center area, and the XM2 then tapers in more on the bottom center area. Both are extremely good shapes for claw grip, and I personally can't really say if one is better than the other. One thing that Vaxee Ninjutso Sora was criticized about is the weight of around 60 grams, and the ones that say that are kinda missing the point of this mouse. The reason this mouse exists is that Vaxee and Ninjutso wanted to offer a Sora shape with specs and specifically geared towards pros, and pro players generally prefer a weight of around 60 grams. And personally, while using this mouse, I have not thought about the weight even once. The mouse just feels like it should. Personally, I just prefer a 60-gram mouse with a solid build quality, very nice clicks and an extremely good coating over something that is 40 grams but is probably lacking in some aspects. And the build quality of this mouse is extremely good, with no creaking or flexing, and even the main buttons are very solid. There is no side-to-side play there. The coating on this one, at least on this grey model, seems to be a bit more chalky than on the previous Vaxee mice, and for me it's actually even grippier than before, but the chalky coating is a minor drawback however, and it's more prone to shining on the parts where your fingers touch the mouse, but that is also happening on other mice with chalky coatings, just like on my XM2. It is purely cosmetic thing, and if your finger rubs on the same spot every day for many hours, something is eventually gonna happen. That's just physics. This mouse is available in white and this beautiful grey color on Vaxee's website, and on Ninjutso store it has more color options available. Buying from Vaxee is however something that I recommend, since they do have better after sales service and customer support if something is not up to your standards on the mouse. The clicks on this mouse are pretty much the best that I've tried. The click is a very satisfying crisp click that the Huano mechanical switches offer, and the actuation feels to be very uniform across the whole button. The pre-travel is very slight and the post-travel is quite bouncy to increase the spammability of the switch. The side buttons are yet again very nice with a good gap between them, and the scroll wheel is also very nice. It has no rattly side tones and you can feel the steps nicely. Here is a quick sound test of all the buttons on the mouse. Inside the mouse they are using the new Pixar 3950 sensor together with Pixar's MCU, and they use the same firmware that is on the XES and the E1. One thing Vaxee introduced with the E1 is the 0 milliseconds debounce setting, and that is also found on the Sora as well. While I still can't measure the click latency on these Vaxee wireless mice, I like that they now allow the user to choose if they prefer a lower click latency or a smaller chance of double clicking. I have been using mine on the 0 milliseconds setting and so far no issues have surfaced. Also, just like on the other Vaxee mice, all the setting changes are made straight on the mouse itself, so there is no need for extra driver software running on your PC and hogging your precious PC performance. This also means that you can't set up any macros or do any of that stuff, but I don't really think that is something any pro would ever do, and this mouse is like other Vaxee mice geared towards pros. The base settings this mouse comes with are pretty much perfect. It is set at competitive mode on, 0 milliseconds debounce, polling rate at 4K, motion sync off since it introduces additional motion latency, and the DPI is something you might want to change to your preferred one. Configuring the polling rate, DPI and debounce is very easy, and you just hold down the button to cycle the setting you want to change and then press the button to cycle to the preferred value. With these base settings, the motion delay is just like on the Vaxee E1 and others, so around minus 0.6 milliseconds from a wired control unit with 4K polling, minus 0.3 milliseconds at 2K polling, and a very nice minus 0.15 milliseconds at 1K polling. Here is also the battery life info that Vaxee provides, so the mouse should have juice for around 30 hours with competitive mode on at 4K polling, 34 hours at 2K polling, and 38 hours at 1K polling. So it's pretty much up to you if you want to optimize for performance or battery life. Personally, I run this mouse at 4K polling since my PC runs it fine, but using lower polling rates is not a bad thing at all, and the latency benefits are really minor overall. So in conclusion, I think the Vaxee Ninjutso Sora is a great addition to Vaxee's lineup and also Ninjutso's lineup, and it is one of the most enjoyable wireless mice for me currently. It offers a very nice shape, awesome coating, very satisfying clicks, and a really stable wireless performance, and it's even built really well. Honestly, I'm pretty bummed that I need to set it aside for a moment since I have some other mice waiting to be reviewed, but that is what it is. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one. Goodbye.